They rectified all of the issues I had with the original Fantasia. I'm so happy. I had, to my knowledge, seen both of the Fantasia films, but it had been quite a while since I'd seen either of them. So yesterday I decided to watch the original Fantasia, and I've discussed that already. And while it was interesting, there were a lot of flaws with it. And then today I watched Fantasia 2000, and I have to say, a lot of the problems that I identified with the first film, or things that I thought could have been areas of improvement, are actually a lot better in Fantasia 2000. And this isn't just with regards to the style of animation, because actually, for the most part, the style of the animation hasn't changed. It's maybe a little bit sharper, the colours are maybe a little bit more vibrant on screen, but ultimately the quality of the animation is the same. It's good. But what I like about this one is, first of all, it's shorter, which makes it a better length for children. The first film was about 2 hours. This one's less than an hour and 20. I think it's an hour and 15. And children's films should never be too long. I mean, it's a family film rather than a children's film. But yeah, Disney films shouldn't be that long. This one, we get a better look at the orchestra. One of my biggest issues with the first one is that we spent a lot of time looking at what I can only describe as the shadows and silhouettes of the orchestra. Here we actually get to get up close and personal with them, and we get to see the instruments. And for a young child who's maybe never seen an orchestra before or hasn't seen these instruments up close, it could be actually quite informative and educational. And that's something else. We actually learn a lot about, well, I say a lot, we learn a moderate amount of information about the composers of the songs and the inspiration behind some of the illustrations. I feel like it's just a lot more interesting, and not in the way that's like a knowledge dump, but certainly there are bits and pieces that I found quite fascinating, and that was not really the case at all with the first one. We also have a better structure to it. So in the first one, the conductor talks for probably about, I mean, I might be exaggerating, but what felt like about half an hour of the 2-hour film. Whereas this one, the music and the animations are definitely dominating. And when people do talk and introduce things, it's not just the same person talking in monotone and with a lack of animation. This one I figure is down to the increase in technology, but it starts off with Steve Martin, and then various other people introduce musical pieces. We have Bette Midler and Angela Lansbury, James Earl Jones, Penn Jillette, and not only are they're not just standing there talking like they did in the original, but they have animations around them, and the editing's a lot better. That aspect, yes, I completely see that. That is obviously down to the advances in technology, but the structure is a lot better and a lot more engaging for viewers of any age. The musical choices I was still very happy with. This was something that I found to be the case in the original. I'm not actually against the original. I did like it for the most part. I also like the music here. Some of the illustrations were a bit weird. I found most of them felt like Disney illustrations. I love the flamingos. I absolutely loved the flamingo one. The one with the whale, which I think might have been the first or second one, was... You could tell it was Disney, but it felt a little bit off. But the one that they did for the Steadfast Tin Soldier, I thought was not... I apologise if you can hear my cat crying. She wants out of the room. Okay, I've let the cat out of the room now. And I forgot what I was saying. Steadfast Tin Soldier, yes. The illustration, the animation style is alright. But it doesn't feel like Disney at all. I don't know if they were just experimenting, maybe, but I was not moved by it. Didn't really care for it at all. Of course, there are two others that absolutely deserve a mention. Well, I will say the piece it ends on I thought was quite dark, and I feel like they should have ended on the one that came before that, which I'll discuss in a minute. But we do have the Sorcerer's Apprentice in here as well. It's very similar. I'm not sure what changes, if any, were made. It's not ingrained in my mind that much. But obviously, I feel like this had to have been included. And then we also have Noah's Ark with Donald Duck. What? Yeah, that happened. But yeah, I liked it. I'm pleased Donald Duck was in it, and I thought that was an interesting choice, and it was quite fun to watch. And I'm glad we had another iconic Disney character in there. You know, this was 1999. If they wanted to, they could have made it all with iconic Disney characters, but they didn't, and that's not a problem at all. But yeah, I really liked that Donald Duck one, and I feel like they should have ended on that. Well, actually, I feel like they should have ended on Sorcerer's Apprentice. I feel like that would have been a little bit more powerful and quite emotional as well, because it's such an iconic piece now. I'm not sure if it was that iconic in the 90s. I'm not sure how frequently it was shown. My memory of being 7 years old is not that good. But yeah, I really liked it. I enjoyed it a lot. I thought all of the issues I had with the first one that made it not that great were rectified here. And they've put together a brilliant musical package that's an absolute joy to watch. And if you're a Disney fan or a classical musical fan, give it a watch. I think you'll really love it.